There is a version of you that has learned to survive by simply turning the volume down on everything. It's 2 a.m. The blue light of the screen is the only thing left in the room. You've been scrolling for 2 hours, maybe 3. You finally pick a show. You watch it. The credits roll, and you feel absolutely nothing. No joy, no sadness, not even boredom, just a flat gray line where your soul used to be. You aren't lazy. You aren't depressed in the way the movies describe it. You've just been muted. And today, we need to talk about why your life has lost its sound.
There is a specific kind of exhaustion that sleep cannot fix. It's the exhaustion of a nervous system that has seen too much, heard too much, and felt too little. In the US today, we call it productivity. We call it staying informed. We call it relaxing with Netflix. But your brain knows the truth. It has initiated a shutdown. Think about the last time you truly felt a sharp emotion, a moment where your heart actually jumped, or a moment where a piece of music made the hair on your arms stand up. If you have to think hard to remember, you are living in the void. The void isn't empty. It's crowded. It's crowded with 10-second clips, endless notifications, and 4K resolution images of lives you don't lead. Your brain is a high-performance engine, but even the best engines have a safety valve. When the pressure of input becomes too high, the valve opens. The feelings go out. The numbness comes in. This is the Netflix loop. You feel empty, so you seek a story to fill the gap. But the story is digital. It's designed by an algorithm to keep you watching, not to make you feel. So you consume. And as you consume, your ability to feel real things actually shrinks. It's like trying to taste a strawberry after eating a bag of white sugar. The strawberry is real, but to your system, it's invisible. Everything is becoming invisible. But why does the brain choose this specific way to survive? Why numbness instead of pain? The answer lies in a secret your nervous system has been keeping since you were a child.
We live in a world that demands visibility, but feeling requires privacy. When you sit on that couch, letting the algorithm choose your reality, you are performing relaxation. You are checking a box, but your inner world has gone into hiding. It's hiding from the noise. It's hiding from the must-watch lists. It's hiding from the expectation that every moment of your life must be content. When everything is loud, nothing is heard. When every movie is the greatest of all time, no movie is special. We have optimized our world for stimulation, but we have sacrificed our capacity for resonance. Resonance is what happens when a sound hits a string and the string vibrates in return. But your strings are now made of lead. They don't vibrate anymore. They just sit there, heavy, silent, muted. And the scariest part? You've started to prefer it this way, because feeling nothing is safer than feeling the weight of what's actually missing. Why numbness? Because pain is loud, and your brain is tired of screaming. In the modern landscape of America, we are the most stimulated generation in human history. We have infinite choices, infinite colors, infinite sounds. But your brain wasn't built for infinite. It was built for survival. When you scroll through Netflix for an hour without picking anything, that isn't indecision. It's your dopamine system hitting a wall. You've squeezed the sponge so hard for so long that there isn't a single drop of joy left to give. The technical term is anhedonia, but that sounds too much like a disease. For you, it feels like a foggy glass between you and the rest of the world. You see people laughing on the screen. You see your friends posting about their best life. You know you should feel something, but the signal is blocked. Why? Because the Netflix void is a safe house. If you don't feel the high peaks of joy, you don't have to feel the deep valleys of disappointment. Numbness is the ultimate armor. It's a strategic retreat. If the world is a storm, you've decided to live in a basement where the windows are boarded up. It's quiet down here. It's predictable. But it's also where things stop growing. In the US, we've turned consumption into a personality trait. We define ourselves by what we watch, what we stream, and what we subscribe to. But we've forgotten how to experience. We spend 40 hours a week working in environments that treat us like metrics. Then we come home and spend 4 hours being treated like data points by an algorithm. Click, scroll, next episode, skip intro. We are skipping our own lives. We are fast-forwarding through the quiet moments because we've been trained to fear them. Because in the silence, the numbness starts to itch. In the silence, you realize that the show you're watching isn't actually good. You're just using it to keep the lights on in your head so you don't have to sit in the dark with yourself. We've become digital zombies, not because we want to be mindless, but because being mindful is too expensive. It costs too much emotional energy to care about a character's tragedy when you're still carrying your own unprocessed weight. So you watch, and you feel nothing. But what happens when the mute button gets stuck? What happens when you try to turn the volume back up and you find that the dial is broken? Let's be honest. Feeling nothing is a relief sometimes. It's a break from the constant, always-on culture of America. It's a way to say no to a world that demands your opinion on everything, your attention on everything, and your outrage on everything.
Your brain chose the void because it was the only place it could find a moment of peace, even if that peace feels like a desert. The problem isn't that you're broken. The problem is that you're overprotected. Your emotional immune system has overreacted. It has identified all feelings as potential threats, so it has quarantined you. It has locked you in the library of your mind, but all the books are blank. You are watching the world happen through a thick layer of plastic wrap. You can see it, you can touch it, but you can't taste it. And the longer you stay here, the harder it is to remember what the unmuted world actually felt like. So, how do you wake up? How do you turn the volume back up on a life that has been muted for so long? The first thing you must understand is this. The first emotion you feel when you leave the void isn't joy. It's grief. You will feel the weight of the months you lost, the weight of the relationships you let drift, the weight of the person you could have been while you were busy watching someone else's story. And that is exactly why most people stay in the void. They feel the first sting of reality and they run back to the screen. They run back to the blue light. They run back to the next episode button. But you have to stay in the sting. To feel again, you have to embrace the radical act of doing absolutely nothing. Not nothing as in watching Netflix, nothing as in sitting in a chair, facing a wall, and listening to the sound of your own breath. In America, we are terrified of boredom. We treat boredom like a virus. But boredom is the only place where your dopamine system can reset. It is the desert you have to cross to find the ocean. When you stop the input, the output starts to return. The muted strings begin to twitch. The gray world starts to show the faintest hint of color. Don't look for happiness. Look for sensation. Feel the texture of the water when you wash your hands. Listen to the specific pitch of the birds in your neighborhood. Eat a meal without a screen in front of you and actually taste the salt, the heat, the bitterness. These are the low-level signals that your brain has been ignoring. When you prove to your nervous system that you are paying attention to the small things, it will slowly grant you access to the big things again. This is a slow process. You cannot hack your way out of numbness. You cannot optimize your way back to your soul. You have to wait. You have to be patient with the version of you that is still hiding in the dark. You have to tell that version, it's okay. The storm is over. It's safe to come out now. We live in a world that wants to own your attention. A world that profits from your numbness. Because a muted person is a perfect consumer. They don't ask questions. They don't create. They just watch. But you were not meant to be a spectator in your own life. You were not meant to be a digital zombie wandering through a forest of pixels. There is a version of you that only feels like themselves when they are truly, deeply alive. The next time you find yourself at 2 a.m. staring at that Netflix menu, feeling like a ghost, do something dangerous. Turn the TV off, sit in the dark,
and wait for yourself to return. It might take a while, it might be uncomfortable, but I promise you, the person who comes back is worth the wait. But maybe your silence didn't start with a screen. Maybe it started years ago, back when you were told you were special, back when the word potential became a backpack full of stones that you weren't allowed to put down. If the reason you feel nothing today is because you gave everything away trying to be gifted for everyone else, then I have another story I need to tell you. It's a story for the ones who are tired of being special and just want to be human again. Click here to listen to The Gifted Kid Burnout, a bedtime story for tired souls. I'll see you there.